All right, everybody. Sorry, got like a little bit of a nest happening back there. So it's 20 minutes with Bridgette. Today is Friday, April 27th. Had to look. And today I kind of, for the first time ever, I'm going to discuss some stuff that has never really been discussed before. And it's something that I became aware of when I was doing my apprenticeship with the Lakota Sioux medicine woman back when I was 23 years old for about a year. And this is something that came up on the radar. Just trying to think about. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult to put together, but I was working with some of the sun beings and some other beings and that are working for the greater benefit, who were us and are us. And what I mean by that is Steiner talks about it, that we're the same as these beings, and we at some point when the earth became solid, that came out of the sun beings and us split off, and we took the evolution of the human, right? And so I was just trying to figure out how I could put it into a format that I could actually start kind of bringing about a discussion. So 3 o'clock in the morning, they had me up researching stuff, and I couldn't find, exactly the visuals and things that I really wanted to find to bring this information to you. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of work with what we've got. So in 95, we acquired some new programming, new application, new download. It's gone completely unnoticed. And a lot of reason that I haven't talked about this before, or that it's not in the main public, is because myself and my teacher probably have not discussed it. So it's really unknown. And what amazes me is like how many people are out there in the consciousness field and the healing field and the energetic fields and the channeling fields, and not one person has actually talked about this or discussed it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, and what, now that I'm putting this out there, what they're going to turn it into. And yeah, it's part of the whole unfortunate, scenario. But hopefully those who watch this early will get an understanding of what we have. So I'm just going to go ahead to the blog. So the blog goes along with this. Also, I just want to say this will be recorded. It'll be up on Patreon. There's a blog that goes with it. You can find that blog at coe-llc.com. And today's blog is New Chakra BB, 20 minutes with Bridgette, April 17th, New Chakra BB. It's called, and my teacher lovingly called it the BB chakra because it was in the belly button area. So it became the BB chakra. Okay, so I just kind of want to give you guys some ideas, especially those who are just exploring things like chakras, because these new chakras are not like our other chakras. Our other chakras utilize the energy body to pull energy from and into, right, to assist with the structure, the energize a lot of the pumps. The diaphragm helps to take this energy from the chakras out of the energy body and apply it into certain areas, and then it helps the diaphragm. The diaphragm turns it into a physical energy, right? It's pumping it and moving it through respiration and having a, you know, a smooth, open body. The new chakras that we got, and I'm going to be having a different kind of class for each one, are crystalline. They are crystals. They're meant to be crystals, like evolve into the crystal. Right now, they're just kind of dormant energy spots on the body because a lot of people haven't had theirs activated. I was lucky enough that my teacher actually helped activate mine back, you know, 28 years ago. And I've kind of been working to a lot of these ideas and thinking and waiting, you know, for a right time where I could actually start talking about some of these things and some of this work. And, you know, to be honest, you know, I'm still putting a lot of this stuff together and maybe a language like how it would operate, right? So to give people a broader understanding. But I was lucky enough to have so many different teachers that were teaching me things. My last teacher, Babido, who passed in June 2016, talked about our blood and how our blood needs to be crystal, you know, it's crystals in our blood. But, you know, like Rudolf Steiner talks about, you know, we continue to eat from unhealthy soil and we will be trapped in the prison of our body because we can't actually shift energetically without the earth, without clean soil, without clean food, without the actual biological metals and minerals and nutrients that we need that will, you know, help our blood to be a crystalline structures, right? And there's a whole other evolutional process that goes along with all of this, and also how these crystal chakras points are going to operate, you know, as far as how I understand it. So I'm going to go ahead and go, let me see if I can screen share. Screen share. Yeah, let's go to this guy. And let me share that. All right. Oh yeah, it's sharing. Yay. No. All right, so here's the blog. So basically the new, when they become something, right now they're nothing, they're just energy spots with the programming in them. And we're dealing with the BB chakra, and that comes out the front and back of the belly button. And basically this is the type of cone vortex that it actually looks like a diamond shape when it's operating. And this is the top. You see this right here? You see how this has these prism cut patterns? This is kind of the top of what the top looks like. It's a little, this is the best example that I could find, even though it's much more larger and significant and more structured. So also, I'm going to kind of cruise down here. We're having a dog, we're having a dog moment. Hold on one second here. Let me. So this is what I want to talk about here is that this is, if you put these together, and I'm not saying to put all of those colors together, the BB chakra seems to have a relationship to the root, to the second chakra, or the sacral chakra, and kind of into the third chakra, which would be a lot more yellow than this. But the prisms are all functioning colors, right? Kind of separate on the crystal. So it's not these colors like totality and put together and merged together, but kind of separate in their own, and it's clear. The chakra is clear. And so it's more of a prism-y kind of crystal structure. So I'm going to put, you know, this kind of, we're going to put this chakra, and all the crystal chakras are all going to be in the plasma, the fire element. and also connection with sun beings, sunlight, cosmic radiation. And it's the fire snake medicine path. New chakras. So I'm going to read kind of like what I've put on my blog. New chakras emerged in 1995, and most humans are still not active. Important features on chakras becoming activated. Health of our physical bodies has to be achieved through clean water, food, and air, by eating directly from active, healthy soil and the environment. Also, these new chakras have a lot to do with rainbow beings, rainbow warriors, like becoming these rainbow beings of light, and rainbow light. Rainbow beings, rainbow light return to earth, and we align ourselves with this medicine and energy. This is connected in the 5th post-Atlantean epoch Steiner talked about, which is the one we're in since 1410 until 3572, where the thinking aspects of the human being, these new chakras become active. This comes from a path of the individualized understand through the critical thinking of freedom and how it is used. Then we will become a collective understanding and applying this knowledge to a greater good of all. This new chakra will turn us back to the work of the earth, but connected fully to the cosmos, the ancestors, like giant vortexes, pivot point on the earth and outreach into the cosmic memory, knowledge, understanding through us and radiating it into the earth. The healing, the soil, eating from it will bring our bodies back into alignment with the energy around us as the mineral and metal biologicals uptake through eating from the soil and clean water uptakes into our bodies. This will increase the power and energy reflection from inside of our bodies into the new chakras from the inside out, not like the established chakras that are from the outside in. Our blood becomes crystallic structures needed to power new chakras. And then there's a few other things on there. There's like a video about the light body teaching from Buddhism and just a few other quotes and other kinds of things on the thing. So, a few things that I'm going to just get rid of this and come back. So the crystal chakras are actually be powered from the crystalline structures in our bodies, mostly being the blood and the water, being enriched with minerals and metals. And this will power those crystal chakras. And then the energy will be going out. It'll like emanate light, like prism light. Like if you take a light and you put it through a prism and the fixtures of it onto the wall, except for each of the new chakras have its own color penetration and prisms. So the light goes through that chakra. When it's installed and activated, most people are not really in the process of this being able to be activated because the body is so sick. And things have been put into the body to alter it from being able to move into the new chakra systems, so that we're light, we're rainbows of light. And each chakra has its own color. So, the BB chakra, and then here's the, clear crystal, and it has orange and red and yellow on it. And the light hits it, and then it'll be like yellow ray, red ray, orange ray, like splatters out, emanates kind of in a field. Not so much like laser point, but it has this, like emanation. It's more warm light than a laser, penetrating light that comes out and onto everything. And so, yeah. So really important stuff is that we really need to start eating from the soil. We need to start learning how to restore our soil, whether it's in our yards or we have land, or our environment and the land that is still there. We need to get the microbes and all of these other things going so that they can actually also help with the regeneration of the soil. And we need to start eating from that point on. And, you know, like eating a plant that, you know, right there fresh has so much sunlight in it, right? So we're eating light if you pick it, right? And as soon as you eat it, and don't cook it, but just eat it. It has a lot of bacteria on it. It's going to have microbes on it. It's going to have, you know, the sunlight light in it. And it's going to help to activate things in our body. So yeah, that is what we're going to have to do. It's part of, like I tell people that a lot of my work is that we're returning back to earth as a spiritual evolution into the next energetic systems and light structures of the human being. And yeah, so, you know, we were allowed for thousands and thousands of years to sit and meditate and, you know, cross borders and boundaries and commune with things that were not readily available here. But food was everywhere, right? We could eat light, and we're drinking, you know, water could be drinkable anywhere. Now we're at the point where we have to recover the earth systems in order to actually evolve into more of a human being and a light being in a human form. That's our goal now through the thinking and freedom processes, which is an individual path. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave you with a guided imagery. It's super easy to do. And you can do it in the morning, or you could do it in the afternoon, or you could do it at night before the sun sets. It's easier sometimes to do it on the horizon. There's a lot of practices internationally from different types of spiritual paths that deal with a lot with sun. I mean, like, you know, you think about the sun salutation of yoga. The basic yoga structure is about greeting the sun and working with the sun and bringing the light in, and, you know, as it's rising in the sky and filling your body and your spirit through the practice, right? There's all kinds of different practices, but I'm just going to leave you with a simple practice so that you can start working with sunbeams and you can start working with the sunlight to help assist you towards your next evolution into crystallic structure, the new chakra systems. Okay, so you're just going to stand in front of the sun, you know, whether it's coming up or not. I mean, you could get as much into this as you want, or make it as simple as possible. My preferable point in time is the morning. So I can go out there and just wait for the sun to go up. Sometimes I get prayer, you know, thanking for my day, thanking for, you know, the grandfather meeting with me meeting with the grandfather as he's coming in. And so sometimes I do that. If I'm late, I don't. If I forget, maybe lunchtime, you know, whenever I have time in the day, but preferably the morning. So one of my favorite things to do is just allow the sun beings and the grandfather to touch me. So I like to go out, and as soon as that sun is coming up, I like to put my hands in the air and stand just relaxed until I start to feel like the sunlight start to hit areas of my body, and I can feel it starting to touch all the different parts of my body, all the way down to my feet. And I'll just wait and breathe. I just wait until I feel it like it touches the whole front part from fingertips to my toes. And then I like to flip around, and I like to get the back side done. And then that's it. I mean, it's just standing there, and it's being in me in the present moment, and me connecting with the sun and allowing it to touch me, and waiting until it gets all the parts on the outside touched, and then flipping around and letting it touch all the parts on the other side. And then I'll flip back around, and I'll usually, like, thank the sun beings, thank the ground father, and just, send out some gratitude. And I feel like I've connected with the light forces, that emanate from the sun in our world. And it's a power generator, so it's also generating me up for the day, right? And helping my crystallic chakras to actually be able to do the work that they need to do, when I still lack a lot of what I need inside my body as well. So, but yep, we have to start eating good. We have to start healing the earth so that we can drink the water directly from it. We can, eat the food directly from it, and go from there. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. 20 minutes with Bridgette. Today's the BB chakra, and we're going to be moving up the other chakras just as we go. So trying to do one day for every chakra, including the new ones. So the next one is going to be the solar plexus chakra, which is one of the already established chakras. So we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Also, just want to remind people that I do private appointments, online or in person, structural medicine, energy medicine, holistic, alternative, nutritional, diet, lifestyle coaching, and so much more. Herbalism, food production, biodynamics. Yeah. So if you need an appointment, let me know. There's fees and schedule on my website, which is coe-llc.com. And then you can send me a contact, and that's it. So anyway, wishing you a blessed day, and get yourself charged up, start eating right, start focusing in on, creating yourself and bringing yourself into the crystallic evolution in the human body as we evolve. All right. Have a great day. Oh, and just want to say lastly is that, we're don't panic, because if you don't get there this lifetime, you're going to come back and you're going to be able to keep working on it and keep chiseling on it with your section, your piece of the puzzle of, the totality. And so, take care of yourself and do the right thing by yourself, and get out of a lot of the, established structures, and start thinking about, long term. Long term is, we got, 2.5 more epochs to go. So, we got time. We got time to get it right. And we may hit a period where things are bad, and, because we're learning how to think and critically think as human beings. And so we're moving into freedom. Part of that process might be destroying the earth, and that a few, physical bodies and humans survive, to learn the greater lesson of what needs to go down and what needs to happen. So just want to say, be patient. And it's an evolutionary process of the human being, and we'll get there. We're going to get there. And we've got thousands of years to get there. So hang in there. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Over and out. Bridgette Lynn Dolgoff, and 20 Minutes with Bridgette.